Hello, my name is Kobe LaCapra, and today I will be talking about why marijuana should actually be legalized for medical as well as recreational use. As Bob Marley once said, herb is the healing of a nation, alcohol is the destruction. For centuries, people around the world have looked for a drug that takes away pain as well as other ailments with almost zero side effects. And for centuries during this, we've had the perfect plant for this. Medical marijuana has been used for centuries with no recorded deaths and slight to almost no side effects, and has a number of uses besides just pain. After having done extensive research on this topic of medical marijuana, I've become very well versed through the topic through my own knowledge as well as the reliable sources I've used. I have 3 or 4 main points. First, marijuana has been used since basically the beginning of time. Second is why it became legal, why it should not remain illegal for medical purposes at least, and how the U.S. as a whole views it today. Weed has been used for a very long time. The first recorded use was 2900 BC by the Chinese Emperor Fu Shi, who claimed it was a medicine that contained both yin and yang properties. From the Chinese all the way back to Bible times, marijuana was used as medicine. It was even used in Bible times, actually referenced in the book of Exodus as a holy anointing oil for the disciples. It was also mixed with other herbs. The Egyptians, the Greeks, and even Indians used it, as well as the Jamestown settlers who brought the first plants over America. Actually, the sails of the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria were made of hemp. Have you ever wondered why it became illegal in the first place? Well, there's multiple underlying causes. The main one was because of a man named William Randolph Hearst. He got it all started. He was the head of the CIA, and they actually needed basically a drug to make it legal, or they were going to lose funding. So he was like, what's super popular right now and I can get to cause a lot of fear? Oh, perfect, marijuana. The term marijuana he actually coined in order to make it sound more bad or evil, just because of the sound. He said marijuana causes people to do terrible acts of violence as well as lots of criminal activity. He also said that marijuana made African Americans want to date and rape white women. That was a lot of fear mongering. He put it all in the newspapers and stuff like that. And he also teamed up with the paper companies because hemp is a great alternative for paper instead of using trees and stuff. There's also a movie that came out called Reefer Madness, which was used to incite fear of the drug. By the late 1930s, sadly, fear had won. In almost all 50 states, it was made illegal. Even through all this fear was created, most of it was absolutely false with zero anything to back it up. There was no proof, no background, and in fact, pot can save dozens of lives, and it doesn't even have to be smoked. My third main point is how it can be medically used to ease pain as well as a number of different horrible diseases and ailments. First is the obvious, of course, pain. It can treat chronic headaches, nerve pain, glaucoma, anxiety, depression. I'd read an article in Colorado from their news that a lady had moved there because her daughter was having tons and tons of seizures. She would have hundreds of seizures a year, and she went to Colorado and used just the oil, just dabbed a little dab on her skin. 0 seizures. She had, I think, 1 the whole year after that. Instead of the dozens of pills she was on, she stopped using those and just used THC oil, which also has CBD and all the other compounds, and almost just 1 to 2 seizures a year instead of hundreds. Aside from just the medical point of marijuana, it can be used for tons of different things. The sister plant of marijuana, hemp, can also be used. It's not psychoactive at all. It can be used to make paper. It can be used in your moisturizers, your shampoos, soaps, conditioners. You can use it as like the CBD stores around Cookeville. You can just smoke it and relax, and there's none of the THC in it, so there's no psychoactive effects. It's just the pain reliever and everything else. As you can see, there are tons of uses for marijuana, but fear and lies have led to this plant being illegal. My fourth main point is how we as a country view it today. The view of cannabis has actually changed a lot, as you all have seen in the past recent years. Already there's been multiple states legalizing it, whether it be just medical or even up to recreational. Colorado was actually the first one. People are starting to see that marijuana is a lot less dangerous and that it should be legal. As of 2017, the percent of Americans that want it legal is above half, with a massive 61%. 61% of Americans want it legalized or have no opinion on the matter and just don't care. But this has continued to go up massively. This surge of people wanting it legalized will continue as more research comes out for the plant itself. Each year, the CDC reports, get this, about 88,000 deaths due to alcohol. Can you guys guess how many marijuana's caused? Not one. Not one single death in recorded history. But just last year, 88 to 100,000 deaths just from alcohol. Another study shows that people who smoke cannabis commit less crimes compared to people that actually drink or do anything else. So the pot smokers don't do any real crime except, I guess, smoking pot. But the people that drink, DUIs, do stupid things, abuse, home stuff like that. Medical marijuana should not be feared, and it can save lives as well as protect against addictions. It's been proven to be able to get people, they've been doing tests in Colorado, also from the same website, that they're using medicinal marijuana to help people get off of heroin and other hardcore drugs. It can even help with this opioid epidemic because medicinal marijuana isn't addictive. The plant itself is not addictive compared to these pills that they give you, like oxycodone, stuff like that, are very, very easy to get addicted to. I hope this has helped inform you about the history and uses of medical marijuana. I was hoping to persuade you into understanding why it shouldn't be illegal. It should be legal for all. What you can do when the time comes is help vote for candidates in our office that'll help legalize it instead of spreading more fear and falsicities about this plant. Hopefully we as a new generation can erase all the fear and lies created by our government about this plant. And now I will show you a little PowerPoint I've done. So this is how many deaths there are for marijuana. As you can tell, there's 0 deaths, but from tobacco, 435,000, poor diet and exercise, 365,000, alcohol, 85,000, prescription drugs, 32,000, and that's just a small example.